I missed seeing your face because
Aw.
I didn't have my thing pulled up.
Tender. That was cute.
It's the last time I can do that before Amy takes you away.
Ah. Hello and welcome to the Nerdiest Podcast, a show where nerds talk about nerdy things. As always, I'm one of your hosts, Mr. Jackson Glass, joined by the host with the most, who's always sleep deprived, Mr. Nick Barrett. We are here today doing a video game movie ranking. That's right, we're ranking all of our favorite and least favorite video game movies in a tier list from S, A, B, C, D, Shadow Realm. We're going through all of it, and it's going to be so great. But we also have stories about the Switch 2 pre-order. We are also going about the news in the Star Wars celebration that happened recently. So, all to come. Thank you so much for being here. If you're not following us on Instagram at The Nerdiest Podcast, or YouTube at The Nerdiest Podcast, or Twitter at Nerdiest Podcast, all those links are in the description. We are so glad you're here. Thank you very much. Mr. Nick, how was your week?
It was great. Thank you for asking. Well,
Of course.
I'm tired, as you know, on brand.
Of course.
So, as you mentioned, well, hold on. Let me think. Was there anything substantial that happened?
I don't remember what happened.
Not really. Because my whole week has kind of been consumed by the Switch 2 pre-orders. So, here's the thing. When the Switch 2, had the big direct on April 2nd, and then they said, hey, pre-orders are going to start on April 9th. And then they didn't because they were like, well, hey, there's these tariffs, and we don't really know what's happening here, so we're just going to wait. So then they came back last week, and they said, hey, April 24th. It was on Good Friday they announced this, so it really was a Good Friday. Well, aside from all the other reasons it's Good Friday, it just made it a better Friday. You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
Additional goodness, if you will. So I was like, okay, sick. This is great. I got to be ready. I got to be locked in, okay? So here's what happened, right? I was following all these guides that was like, okay, pre-orders go live at this store at this time and this store at this time. And so I'm on Central Time, which means when all of the stores say midnight Eastern, that's 11 p.m. for me. So 11 p.m. was my go time, like start time. And it was mainly Target, Walmart, and Best Buy. And those were the three that I was watching Wednesday night, technically, Thursday morning for Eastern.
Right.
And then GameStop didn't go up until the following day at, I think, 10 a.m. Central was GameStop pre-orders online, and then in-store was whenever your store opened. So I had like all the deets on my local store, how many consoles they were going to get, what time they opened, whole shebang. And then when I got home from work Wednesday, I got on my computer, and maybe I'll put the image on screen if I don't feel too lazy. It's going to be a high editing episode.
Ooh,
yay.
Let's go.
I ended up pulling up tabs for Walmart, Best Buy, and Target. But the guy I was watching who was like guiding everyone through pre-order said, hey, you might want to focus on some of the like miscellaneous bundles from Best Buy that are like a Pro Controller, the steering wheels for the Joy-Con 2s, and like all the different game bundles, because everyone's going to be clicking on the main bundle and the console.
The Mario Kart bundle.
So I'm sitting there. I've got like the Mario Kart bundle and the regular console pulled up on Walmart. I've got the main console and the Mario Kart bundle pulled up on Best Buy, plus the Pro Controller bundle, the steering wheel bundle, the Mario Kart physical bundle that's separate from the console, the Tears of the Kingdom bundle, just in case. And then on Target, I had the main console and the bundle pulled up. And then we got like an hour before pre-orders, and he was like, all right, you guys need to lock in on like one from each retailer and focus on that. Because if you keep trying to refresh like 10 different Best Buy pages, one, you're gonna miss it. But also all of these sites have like bot detection on them. So they're looking for the auto refresh that refreshes every like 2 seconds. So he's like, one, don't refresh too much, like every 15 to 20 seconds. And then Walmart has a queue, Best Buy has a queue, Target, free for all. So 10:59,
we love Target for that.
30 rolls around. 10:59, 30 seconds. He's like, all right, refresh. I hit refresh. Walmart, bang, instantly in the queue. Best Buy, not up yet. Target, not up yet. 11 p.m. hits. Still in the queue at Walmart, which was a long-running thing. Best Buy, I kid you not, they did not drop their pre-orders until 45 minutes after they were supposed to. Something happened that someone, I guess, just didn't push the button. So everyone's sitting here refreshing Best Buy, and it's like, why is it not working? And then Target went up, but then sold out immediately. But it wasn't actually a sellout. It was the system got overloaded and was like, no thank you. No more switches.
Right.
We don't have any. Go away. So here's where the story gets really interesting, because once you're in the queue, like in line at Walmart, you don't have to touch it. It'll automatically like send you into the pre-order page, and you have 10 minutes once it sends you to that page to either pre-order or get out, which is nice because it alleviates the stress of like, oh my gosh, where's my credit card? What do I get?
Where's my credit card?
They're
Right.
like, hey,
it's like the
you
movie
got
theater
time.
ticketing system.
Yeah, like this is reserved for you. No one can buy it while you're sitting here doing all this stuff. And once the time runs out, you're out. So Walmart, I just kept checking in every, couple minutes just to see like, okay. So still refreshing Best Buy, but then Target went up and I got one in my cart and I was like, yes, okay, here we go. We got it. And I got it in the cart. I go to the checkout. I had already like pre-filled in all of like my address, all my cards, like the whole thing. Because it was supposed to, because when you're on a site like Target, there's a free for all. You have seconds to get through it before someone takes it.
Right.
So I hit the place order button. It sits there and it's loading and it's loading and it's loading. And it stops, and it sends me back. It's like there was an error with your card. And I was like, oh, okay, well hold on. So I hit like edit or whatever, and I put in my little 3-digit number on the back. And I fixed the address because there was something wrong with the address. Because here's what frustrates me. All of these sites like Amazon, when you put in your address, like I'll put in my address and then I'll be like, use the recommended address that has a dash and 5 extra digits for your zip code. And I'm like, it's the same address. This doesn't matter.
You send stuff to me all the time.
Yeah, it's not the first time you've sent anything to me. So, fix my address, did the whole thing, hit place again. Sits there, spinning, and it stops, and it says, cannot process order due to the high volume of traffic on the site now. Mm-hmm. Try again. Like, keep trying. So I hit go, spins and spins, does the same message, hit go, spins and spins and spins. And then the third time, it says, due to high volume of traffic, no one can buy anything. So it kicked me all the way back to the store page and took the Switch 2 out of my cart.
Oh my god.
I was like, oh no, this is not good. So I did like a quick check on Best Buy and Walmart. They were still fine. And I go back to Target and I tried to put it in the cart, but it wouldn't let me do it on the website. So I pulled up my phone and I got on the app and I was sitting there scrolling and I put it in my cart on the app, which then syncs up with the website to let you put it in, like do the checkout process on the website.
Can I ask, like, what was your heart rate at this point? Like, are you, like, freaking out? Or are you, like, super cool?
Okay.
Because in my head, you're like...
I had a nice little balance between, like, going crazy and being calm. Because I was like, if I don't get Target, that's okay. I've got Walmart on queue. Best Buy hasn't gone up yet. I got GameStop at 10 a.m. online, and I'm going to the store in the morning. That was a key part of this, by the way. I took a half day from work on Thursday so that I could show up to GameStop early and stand in line and get this I was ready. I'm like, here's the thing. If you miss the pre-order window before launch, you're not getting one for a while.
No.
So I was like, no, we're locked in, bro. So... I'm going back to Target, hitting all the stuff on the app, and I'm sitting here trying to place the order on the app, and it goes through on the app. But then it stops, and it says, your payment was not authorized. So my bank froze out my credit card, because every time you hit place order, it has to run your card but then when it stops, it obviously doesn't charge it. So my card had been getting hit over and over and over and over again for this almost $600 console. So my bank said, wait a minute, time out. What you doing, homie? So I had to stop, get on the phone with the bank at 11:30 at night and say, hey, this is me trying to pre-order the game console. 15 minutes goes by. I'm sitting here. They unfroze my card. I finally get one to go through on Target. So I've got a pre-order locked in at Target. And I'm like, okay, that's great. 5 minutes later, everyone on Twitter starts going, my Target order just got canceled. Target just canceled my pre-order. Oh, Target's canceling random pre-orders because they oversold. So I'm like, okay, well, now I'm not done. I got to go to a secondary retailer because if Target cancels my pre-order and I give up on all these other ones, it's not going to matter. Best Buy finally went up at like 11:45. So I added it to my cart on Best Buy, which then put me in a line to buy that. And at this point, I was still in line at Walmart, 45 minutes in.
Right.
So I opened up Firefox on my other monitor.
Oh my God.
And this is the picture I sent you, where I have Walmart and Best Buy on Chrome on my left monitor and Walmart and Best Buy on Firefox on my other monitor. So I'm sitting here like all of these are just spinning, loading. I'm like, okay, I got 4 different spots in 4 different lines. Like, it's fine. And then about 11:55, Walmart finally went through. I got my pre-order in at Walmart. And then I gave it about 5 minutes, let it sit. I got the confirmation email. And then I went back and I pre-ordered a Pro Controller also from Walmart. Which was so dumb. So the console, when I got to the Walmart checkout, I hit like checkout and they froze out my debit card for trying to make a $600 purchase.
This is really financially responsible.
So I had to call the bank again. And I had to switch to my credit card. Thank God I put more than one payment method in all these sites beforehand. Otherwise, I would have been screwed. So I'm on the phone with them for my debit card, which was a completely different set of people than the credit card. I get off the phone with them, and they unfroze my debit card, and I went back to get the Pro Controller, and they froze my credit card again. So I had to switch back to my debit card.
So can I ask, like, what's the conversation? Is it like, I'm trying to get the Switch
Guys, I'm
too.
trying to
Get
lock
off
in
the-
here. So, also, here's something that's problematic that I didn't realize until now. So I do have a pre-order at Target and Walmart actively right now.
Right.
Now, I'm not a scalper, but I did tell one of my friends he could have my Target pre-order because he didn't get one. So all I have to do is go on and just change the address, and it ships to him instead of shipping to me. And he'll just pay me back for it, assuming he doesn't get his own pre-order between now and then.
Right.
I told him to keep trying, but if he doesn't get one, like, we've got this one. Here's the problem. My period for the credit card, like the statement period, closes on the 5th of every month. They will not charge me for these consoles until the 5th of the month, which means if I don't change my payment method, I'm paying almost 20% interest on $1,000 worth of consoles. And I did not think this through when I was pre-ordering using my credit card.
Oh my
So,
gosh.
I'm going to have to figure that out.
That's really funny. That's really funny.
Because my thought was like, I'm not getting, like, it's not going to hit my statement now because by the time I have to, like, pay everything off at the end of the month, it's going to have taken back because they don't actually charge you till it ships. And I was like, oh, great. It's not going to affect anything. So update to follow on that. I need to get all of that switched over to a different card so that I don't get absolutely bombasted. I did not end up going to GameStop because I had 2 pre-orders. I was like, I'm not going to take this away from the people who want to sit and camp out. And it was raining, and I was like, I don't need it. I have everything I need.
Right.
I also bought a 256 gigabyte micro SD express card on Amazon that's back ordered till like June.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm sure because they said like which cards wouldn't work on the Switch 2. And, yeah.
I couldn't get the 1 terabyte one because it's been sold out for like 3 weeks. So I was like, you know what?
Photographers are on Amazon like, what on earth is going on with SD cards right now? Like,
Guys.
what are we doing? Guys, let me just buy an SD card.
Someone also made a fascinating point that the price of these like express cards will go down over the next like year or so. So I was like, okay, if I can just double my internal storage, that'll be fine. I'm planning on getting a bunch of physical stuff anyway. So
right.
It is what it is. That's my Switch 2
my
pre-order
gosh.
experience. What a nightmare.
That's crazy.
I never want to do that again.
That's crazy.
Thank God I didn't have to wait till GameStop because GameStop's site crashed at 11 a.m. when their pre-orders went up. And it stayed crashed for like a half hour.
Can somebody, if somebody out there hears this and wants to just take this call to action, I would like that entire story animated in some way. If we could get just like anyone, literally anyone, any style, I don't care if you draw it on a napkin, whatever. I need that entire story animated. I need to see it. Let me know. Let me know who's out there. We're putting the bat signal out in the sky. So there you go. Wow, what an eventful week.
Yeah.
That's something. I mean, I don't have anything crazy to share. The wildest thing that I did this week was I also took off work, which I'm not like super cool. I'm not. Like I don't like skip and go, like I don't stay up super late to like go out and party or like go, like I don't do anything like that. So when me and one of my coworkers saw that there was an artist close by that we liked, we wanted to see Connor Price, who is a rapper. He's very good. I like him a lot. And he was like doing a show like 2 hours away, and we were like, oh, we could go see him. And I was like, I'm about to get married. I'm gonna graduate in like a year. Like I'm ready to do something like air quote crazy. Like, oh my gosh, you're so crazy. You skipped work and went to a concert. But like I was ready to live a little. So we bought our tickets too late, and so we couldn't buy them directly from the venue, and that's our fault. We should have done that. But we found on StubHub that they were selling the tickets there. So cool, 2 tickets, it's great. So the day of the show comes, and we're at work, we're about to leave early, and he's like, okay, StubHub is going to release my tickets in about an hour because that's how it works. Like, they give it to you right before the event, and it always works. And he was like, everyone I know has always said, like, they always get it, like, it's fine. And I was like, cool, I don't have a reason to believe they're not. It's great. So we drive the 2 hours over there to where the show is, and we're like, where are our tickets? Like, we still didn't get this email. But we did get an email from StubHub that said, your tickets are ready. Collect them in the previous email. Well, we got that email referring to another email and never got the email that it was actually referring to.
That's
with
awesome.
The actual tickets, with the barcode that you scan at the door.
Right.
And so we're on the phone with StubHub, and we're like, hey, like, we just didn't get them. Like, there's probably some glitch in the system. Like, we know they exist. Like, on the app, I can see that they exist. I just can't accept them. Like, what can we do? And they're like, well, we'll see what we can do. We'll figure it out. Like, we'll contact the seller and see if they can release them to you. And we're like, cool, it's fine. Doors open in an hour, and we don't have tickets. And we're outside, like, in line, like, about to go in. And we're like, okay, so we're here on a Wednesday night at a show that we don't technically have tickets for. And so it was like an episode of Drake and Josh. Like, I cannot make this up.
Drake?
And we were
Where's
like,
the tickets?
Where's the tickets? So we were kind of like on the phone with a few different people. Like, have you had this experience? Like, what's this and that? Like, all this stuff. We turn around to the lady behind us. It's just mom and a daughter. And we were like, hey, this is super awkward. Do you have your tickets? And she was like, yeah. And she showed us her phone. She had the tickets. And we were like, okay, we got ours on StubHub. Give me your tickets. So, we were like, well, we got ours on StubHub. And she's like, oh, well, I did too. And we were like, this is really bad because we did the same thing and you have tickets and we don't. So we went to the guy at the door and it was like a security guard. And we were like, hey, we technically have tickets. We can see them here. We bought them off StubHub. Like, we know they're real. We know they're there. They exist. But, like, we can't collect them. Like, what can we do? And he was like, well, it's a sold-out show, so, like, I can't let you in unless you have, like, a scannable, like, barcode and this whole thing. And we were like, well, we're just trying to figure it out because we've never had an issue with StubHub. And he said, oh, yeah, well, last month I got scammed out of $600 hockey tickets on StubHub. And we were like, it just got progressively worse. It got progressively worse. And we got the one security guard who was like, yeah, no, this is a scam. And I was like, oh my gosh, we bought dupe Connor Price tickets. And I was like, they're not coming. Like, it's not.
They're never going to be here.
They're never going to be here. And I was like, we're right outside this show. And he was like, well, once it starts, I can kind of see, like, the security guard was so nice. And he was kind of like, he said, hey, it's a sold out show. Once it starts, I can kind of get a gauge of who's here and how many people are here, and I might be able to let you in. And we were like, okay, I will wait. We will see. So we're sitting off to the side like lost kids at the aquarium and just like waiting for like, and then of course I run into people I know and they're walking in and they're like, hey, and I was like, hey, my tickets were fake. Have fun. And so they're walking in, like, waving at us. I was like, oh, my gosh, this is so embarrassing. And so we talked to the security guard again, and he's like, I'll let you know. We're just waiting for people to get in. And we were like, Eric, we were like, dude, we've been so helpful. What's your name? And he said, my name's Eric. I'm the general event manager. We befriended the general event manager by accident. He, like, owns the venue.
Oh.
Like, he's, like, the guy. And so we were like, oh, okay. And then, like, 15 minutes before that started, so doors opened at 7, opener started at 8. At about 7:45, he leaned over to us, and he kind of, like, gestured. And he was like, come on. And we went in, and he was like, if you go to the he was like, he got in real close. He's like, if you go to the ticket booth, you can buy another ticket. StubHub will refund you later. If you buy that ticket and scan it, then I can let you in. And we were like, Eric, my knight in shining armor. He was just like, he was the miracle we prayed for. And so we went in there, we got tickets, and of course, it's all standing room. And so, like, we're in there 15 minutes before it starts, and the room is just, like, packed. It is condensed. And I was like, we were here so early so that we could be at the very front, just to get delayed to come in right at the very end. And I was like, I was like, this is unreal. Like, I'm just thankful to be here, but also I'm not standing in the back. Thus, I pulled one of the oldest Disney World tricks in the book. And I pulled out my phone and I said, hello? What? You're at the front? Hold on. Excuse me. Sorry. Hold on. Excuse me. And I kid you not, people moved. They, like, let us through, which is so funny. Because one guy, which I don't have any remorse for at all. Like, I do not care. All the tickets were the exact same price. You get the standing room that you choose. Like, it is free for all.
It's not like you're stealing someone's seat.
No, I'm not stealing a seat. It's all we're all on the level playing field. You just aren't locking in.
You're just a sucker who got conned out of your standing
That is
room.
what I call a skill issue. And we walk by this person, and I hear this person behind me. I just hear, this guy's pretending to be on the phone. And I just kept going. And I was like, this is one of the weirdest nights of my life. It was crazy. It was a whirlwind. And the show was awesome. Connor Price was phenomenal. I highly recommend going to see him. It was a great show. He had a great tour. But it was like it was a saga. It was like a sitcom. Like, I cannot make this up. We thought it was over multiple times.
But then you were so back.
But then we were so back. So there you go. And that's that about that. That's my concert story.
What incredible dad lore that will be.
No, literally. Because in the moment, it's not funny. You're like, this sucks. Like, I'm going to have to just go home. Like, I took off work. I could have just stayed at home. Like, this is annoying. But it was like, the story we got out of it was so much better than anything I could have asked for. And that's because God is good. And he gives us those stories.
Listen, I firmly believe that God's the only reason I have 2 pre-orders of Switch 2. There's no way. Like,
we have seen the providence.
Dude, it was like 12:30. I was ready to conk out. And then Walmart came through and I was like,
it said,
this is it. And then I went to bed. So, did you ever get the refund for the tickets?
I haven't heard
yet. Legitimately get scammed?
I think we're gonna get a refund. I haven't heard yet. He probably got them, but he's been in the Grand Canyon, so I haven't heard. So
that makes sense.
I have not seen him since. So I'll probably. Granted, it was like $40.
Oh, okay, so it wasn't like $500 tickets.
No, it was fine. So anyway, we're gonna move on to recap real quick the Star Wars Celebration news. But before we do that, I have a little bit of an announcement, and that is today is my last episode of the Nerdiest podcast. Don't applaud.
I got rid of him. Took me 5 years. He's gone.
For the next 2 episodes. Now, as I'm sure if you've been following the show, you know that my wedding is rapidly approaching, and weddings are very busy and very time intensive. And I will also be out of the state for like 10 days on a honeymoon. Thus, that messes with your recording schedule. So, Nick has some very special things planned for the podcast for the next month. But just to prepare you guys, I will not be there. I will be on my honeymoon off the grid completely. So,
and then you can come back and tell us all about it.
And then I can come back and I'll tell you all about it. So, don't miss me too much. I'll be back in about a month, but it's going to be great. Don't you worry. This is my final episode as a not married man. Yeah. Absolutely bonkers.
This is just like that time. Remember when I took a month off 2 years ago for Tears of the Kingdom?
Yeah, but because you were, getting married to Tears of the Kingdom.
True. I'm pretty sure when I came back, you made a joke about being divorced from the grind of playing Zelda because I had like 100 hours in the game already. And you were
from
like,
the grind.
Divorced
from the grind. That's one of my favorite phrases. I want a divorce from the grind.
And then when you come back, Switch 2 will be out. It'll be great.
Yes, I'll be back for Switch 2. We've always said podcast. We've always said podcast is a wife privilege. So we'll see. We'll see what other special guests we can bring on, if you know what I'm saying. Anyway, that being said, announcement out of the way. Star Wars Celebration was this week, and Nick is going to walk us through it really quick. A few things that were announced. Nothing really absolutely insane.
Well, okay, hold on. There were a couple.
There was some great stuff.
A couple good things.
Right. Let me hear it.
I'm just going through their roundup of news, so it might miss some stuff. I don't know. They're doing something with the MetaQuest. All right, fine, whatever. They're doing a 3rd season of that chibi Jedi kid show that Anakin's probably going to kill all of them anyway. They announced a bunch of new Lego sets. Hey, you know what I just realized that I thought about like a week and a half ago?
What?
Legos are going to get more expensive. Again.
Because of tariffs?
Yeah. Because they're all imported from Denmark. They're not made here. So as if the Lego inflation wasn't bad enough. So buy the Lego sets that are here now because they're going to get more. I don't know. Maybe not.
It's not like I have space for any more. But
well, see, here's the thing. My girlfriend said we can go to the Lego store and I can pick out a Lego set. So
Millennium Falcon.
We're about to find some space back here for something.
He's gonna get a brickhead for $75.
I'm gonna get a brickhead for 7 cents and be like, oh, I don't want you to spend too much money, even though she was like, no, buy whatever you want. I'm like, it's a dangerous thing to tell a person who's into Legos.
Don't tempt me with a good time.
So yeah, they did a bunch of new Lego sets, Monopoly Go collab, that's whatever. DLC for that Outlaws game that's coming to Switch 2. They did an anime manga pivot, action figures, Thrawn, okay, whatever. Industrial Light Man, yeah, whatever. Okay, so they did announce a new animated Star Wars show called Maul Shadow Lord.
Okay, I think that looks really good.
Which
that's my highlight.
Yeah, me too. After the Clone Wars, Maul plots to rebuild his criminal syndicate on a planet untouched by the Empire. Dude.
That sounds dope.
Has the potential to be so good. And it's like the Clone Wars team, I think, but it's not the Clone Wars animation style. Like they've slightly tweaked it a little bit based on the footage they showed. So that's pretty cool. I'm looking forward to that. We got a first look at The Mandalorian and Grogu, which comes out May 22nd, 2026. So next year.
Okay.
All of
Almost
the initial
a year away.
previews from that movie, like, because they showed a trailer at the celebration. Most of the previews are, yep, it just looks like more of The Mandalorian. Nothing too crazy
Hooray.
going on. All right.
Yay? Question mark.
Okay. And then here's the one I'm kind of a little more excited about. Star Wars Starfighter comes to theaters on May 28th, 2027 with lead star Ryan Gosling.
Yes. Praise
He might be able to save Star Wars, okay?
I think he could do it. If someone could do it, it'd be him. That's
see.
a great choice.
With director Sean Levy. What has Sean Levy done? That name sounds so familiar.
Oh, Sean Levy did the freaking Free Guy. He did Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yeah.
Free Guy, Night at the Museum. He did the Atom Project.
Oh. Okay, hold on. This could be kind of gas.
He is a really good director. I liked his work on Deadpool a lot. He produced Arrival.
Do they have any more info about this movie? One of several theatrical projects. Yeah, okay. The 2 movies they have. All right. Set approximately 5 years after the events of The Rise of Skywalker. Ryan Gosling will play a brand new character, teased by the actor's appearance on stage. Comes out Memorial Day 2027.
Ooh.
So that could be gas.
So awesome.
I remember
so
my
cool.
initial response was, "Oh, hey, they're making Star Wars movies again," because we haven't had a
No,
Star Wars
literally.
movie. So if The Mandalorian comes out May 2026, right? That's 7 years in between Star Wars movies.
That's
which
not
is
right.
ridiculous. It's insane.
That's not right.
And then
That's
they
not
have
how
them
Star
back
Wars
to
was
back,
intended.
and I'm like, all right.
Everyone go see these movies, please. I don't care if they're good. Just go see them so we can make more.
They announced a new Star Wars game.
I saw that.
It's called Star Wars Zero Company. I was really excited because the art looks really good. And then they said single player turn-based tactics game. And I was immediately turned off because that's just a bunch of gobbledygook that doesn't mean anything. And they didn't show any gameplay. They just showed like cinematic cutscenes. I'm like, all right, dude, show me something.
All right.
What does the gameplay look like? I don't know.
Is this
it's also
gonna be
coming
like
to PC, PS5, Xbox
Calamity?
Series X, and not Nintendo Switch 2, but they probably just haven't announced it yet. They what's his face? The guy Dave Filoni got on stage and was like, "Hey, here's some stuff about Ahsoka. Here's what we're doing. We're going to season 2." And and then the Andor cast was like, "Hey, come watch our overrated show." And then they announced the Fortnite Star Wars Battle Pass, which has General Grievous in the Battle Pass. And as soon as I saw that, I was like, "Welcome back, Star Wars Battlefront 2." I don't think we're
Close
missing any
enough.
skins
Welcome
for
back.
all the heroes. So, welcome back. We're getting
Close
closer.
enough.
So
Welcome
that
back.
starts next Friday. I'm kind of upset
That's hype.
because it starts next Friday, and I think it goes till. Do they have like the length on here? It ends, or the last part of the saga starts June 7th, which means I can play the last part of it on my Switch too, but everything else I
That's
have to
hype.
play on my Xbox. So we'll see. There's a lot of stuff coming on the Fortnite front. They dropped a bunch of news about that this week too.
Mm-hmm.
They're adding updates coming to Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run at Galaxy's Edge. What does that mean? Well, they're adding a new mission, which is great because that ride's been the same since 2019.
Yeah. That's hype.
So they're adding a
maybe
bunch of new
give
stuff
the
to that.
other the two people that sit in the back, something to actually do.
Yeah. Okay, so the last thing on their list here, because I went in backwards order, this is what I'm the most excited about. And it's Star Wars Visions Volume 3.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going back to doing like anime instead of whatever they did with Volume 2. There's a lot of big names on here that I'm excited about. Trigger's coming back. Wit Studio gets to do one. It's going to be incredible. But not only that, because that's coming out. That's coming out in October. I'm going to need to borrow your Disney Plus for that.
That's okay.
And then after that, they are doing a Star Wars Visions Presents The Ninth Jedi, which is a longer form like series based on that one based on that one short. So I'm excited about that. That's kind of what
that's hype.
I had been looking for since they announced Star Wars Visions, and like they did it way back in 2021, was kind of using it to like soft launch all of these different ideas, see which ones are the most well received, and then revisit those as a full series. So I'm excited about that. That's coming at some point in the future, and then that was kind of Star Wars Celebration, and it kind of came and went.
Hooray.
And I was like, aside from the anime stuff and the movie and the Fortnite,
it's like cool.
Disney's still kind of fumbling the bag here. Like,
yeah,
I don't know, man. Coolest thing
Kathleen
Disney's
Kennedy
done with Star Wars
staying.
is they put Revenge of the Sith back in theaters this weekend, and I got to go see that, so that was pretty sick.
Yeah.
But other than that, I'm like, you got nothing for me, dog.
Yeah. You know what? I think we'll be okay. Movie back in theaters is a W, and so I think there's some hope there for to go back
they're actually
to
making
theaters.
movies again. Yeah,
Right.
one can only
Okay.
hope that they're good.
Well, unless you have anything else to add, I think it's time to transition, and we can go right into ranking video game movies. Now, I like to say this is not a comprehensive list. You're going to be like, well, what about Borderlands? What about this? What about that? What about, all the old Tomb Raider movies? What about Mortal Kombat? This is all based on our knowledge of video game movies. Thus, there's going to be some that we just haven't seen, that you have seen, and so please drop a comment down below. What's your favorite video game movie or least favorite video game movie? Tell us your ranking. Give us some picks that we missed, but these are the ones that we chose based on our interests and kind of our general audience interests. So, without further ado, do you want to go from front to back or back to front?
Okay, when you say back to front, what does that mean?
I mean, like do you want to start if
on
we're
the
looking
left?
at the same thing, do you want to start on the left or the right?
We can start on the left.
Okay.
That's how I usually go through tier lists. Also, guys,
Sweet.
Hey, tier list is
It's on screen
this time.
It's on
Because last
screen.
time we did a tier list, it got a ton of views, and all the comments were complaining that they couldn't see the tier list. And I was like, I'm sorry, I didn't know anybody watched the video on YouTube.
I didn't realize you guys were there, so
now it's here.
So you
If
guys
it
better
looks
watch
a little
this one.
shoddy, that's my fault.
it's okay.
It'll be all right.
All right. So, number one is the Angry Birds movie.
Yeah, this is just the first one, right?
Yeah.
I
So
don't know,
here's
I
the
feel like
thing.
it's-
I saw this movie in theaters, and I remember my mom hated it because it's like kind of crass. It's like
yeah.
it's kind of unhinged, and a lot of memes have come out of it since then. So
I don't know. I'm thinking B.
you think B?
I've
I
seen it like
B.
once, and it was all right at best.
Right. It's not like maybe C.
Yeah, I'm okay with C.
I can comfortably give C because I don't want to. Tier lists are so hard because I'm always like, I don't know. It was kind of good. It could go to S.
So here's my question. When you do tier lists, do you change your ranking as you go, or once a movie is locked in, it's locked in? Because I do it like, if Angry Birds is in C, it's staying there the whole time.
Oh, I lock in. Like, it is like, it's like Deal or No Deal. Like, no deal, it is in C.
Gotcha.
Okay. This is going to be hard.
All
It's
right.
the Super Mario Bros. Movie.
Okay, this might sound contrary to everything I stand for. I'm going to say A and not S.
Okay. Why A?
So, A, because I think it's one of the better video game movies we've ever gotten. Just in terms of like, and we talked about this last episode with like the Minecraft movie stuff. It's a very faithful adaptation of the Mario universe and brings in all these different stuff like Donkey Kong and Mario Kart and like all this other stuff. And the music was really good. And it was just like a good movie overall. But like personally, I would say S, like on my personal ranking. But looking at some of these other movies here, I feel like there are other movies that are objectively better that would go in S tier. So that's why I'm thinking A tier, like higher A by the time we get to the end of it.
I'm kind of looking at it because I think Super Mario Bros. Was really, really good. I honestly need to rewatch it because I saw it in theaters twice, and I need to go back and do a home viewing. I'm more of the opinion of like lower A, like
okay,
but still A.
So
like
still
I think,
A.
But also like looking at the other movies here, I'm like I can make my peace with A. Like it'll be okay.
Okay. A it is.
A from Mario. So, video game movie. Some of these are like kind of a stretch if you want to like get technical on what is a video game movie, and you're
Listen,
like, but there's no.
We pulled up a list of video game movies on, Letterboxd, and all of these movies were on there.
Thus,
so it's not technically our fault.
No,
just saying.
no. I just live here, so
I'm just here, guys. Okay.
So Jumanji: Welcome to the Jungle. I don't know how much you've seen this movie.
No, none.
Have you never seen it?
Wait, is this the first one or the second one?
The first one.
I've seen it once in the car on the way to my senior trip.
Okay. I don't know if this is hot take or how people feel. I am a soul, like I wholeheartedly with my full soul am going to say S tier.
What?
Yes.
No.
This is one of my top 10 favorite movies.
No.
Like it is one of the funniest movies I think we've made in the last like few years. I love this movie.
I was going to go like high B.
No.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Jungle. It is like Jack Black is like peak Jack Black, but it's like the inverse of their like typical characters.
Right.
So it's like Dwayne Johnson is a loser and Jack Black is like the perfect like, you know, like white girl. But then like Kevin Hart is like supposed to be like the big athlete, you know? And so it's like I just genuinely think it's hilarious. I've seen this movie like 20 times.
Do you want to split the difference and go A?
I will go A, but I'm putting it in high A.
I'm going to keep it behind the Mario movie.
I love Jumanji. I love them both, actually. I saw the second one on my birthday like years ago. Yeah, I love Jumanji. Go watch it if you haven't seen it. Okay.
Maybe I needed to give it a rewatch. I don't know.
I don't think we're going to disagree on this one.
Okay. I'll hear you
Sonic the Hedgehog.
The first one.
S tier. First one, S tier.
First one, S tier?
First one, S tier. Here's what I'm going to say. I think the first one is the best one.
I disagree on that.
I like the first one best.
Okay. It's a good movie. I'm not going to sit here and say it's not a good movie. It was, honestly, it shocked me a lot more than I thought it was going to because, like, I kind of went into it not as a Sonic fan, just as like mainly off of the controversy that
it was
like
Ugly Sonic. It was the Ugly Sonic moment.
I was like, oh, okay, let's go see how they fixed this.
Right.
And they did, and it was still a really good movie, which I think quality-wise, the movie would have still been really good. I just think a lot of people would not have been able to get behind that Sonic model.
Right.
So I think it was good, but to say it's like an S tier movie, I think is a little much.
It's so hard because Sonic 2 is gas. It's a great movie, and I really love the ending, and I think you get the true like Dr. Eggman experience in Sonic 2, and I think it's that because I'm trying to think like I have to essentially rank all three of them in my head so that I know where to put one.
Right.
And so like Sonic 2 is great, but I think that it drags in the middle in a way that I keep forgetting. Like every time I turn it on, I'm like, oh, this is phenomenal. And then in the middle, I'm kind of like, it could go a little faster. Like we could get where we're going a little better.
Right.
Where I think the first one is a better, like, it's a buddy movie, it's a road trip movie, it's a family movie, like it's an action movie, it's a comedy movie. Like,
yeah,
it is the most like pro family movie
it's also
we've
like
seen in like years.
The campy early 2000s type
Right.
movie, like that kind of humor and that kind of comedy. I don't know.
I will split the difference at A, but I don't
can
know
go
if,
high A.
But I don't know if another one is gonna hit S for me.
I'm willing to split the difference and go high A above the Mario movie.
Yeah.
And we'll come back to the other ones.
We'll come back to 2. You could convince me to get another one in S.
All right. I don't think we're gonna disagree on this one. Scott Pilgrim versus the World, S tier.
S tier.
Yeah. Yeah.
Genuinely, I think one of the best movies ever made. Period.
True.
Like
that's
genuinely
so true.
One of the best movies ever made. Like it is a complete film. Like there is nothing wrong with Scott Pilgrim.
No.
Like it's hilarious. It's action packed. It's creative. It's goofy. It's like it's everything you need. It's romantic. Like it has Brie Larson in the only role that she's actually like not insufferable.
Scott Pilgrim, they can never make me hate you.
They can never
it's
make me hate you.
Such a good movie. It's so like I bought it on Blu-ray because it's so funny. Like every time I'm like, maybe I should just turn on Scott Pilgrim. It's like kind of gas.
Right. I watched Scott Pilgrim the same week that I watched Inside for the first time, and so like I kind of pair those together in like like they're like my emotional comfort movies. So yeah,
That's so
Scott
fair.
Pilgrim S tier. I'm sorry if you disagree.
No,
because you should see more movies.
Yeah, if anybody disagrees, you're just wrong.
Okay, well, no disagreement there. So let me hear your pitch for Sonic 2 S tier.
Okay, Sonic 2 S tier, at least for me personally, because I don't think I've ever been that excited for a movie outside of like maybe Infinity War and Endgame type stuff. So going into it, I was really excited, and I think what ended up happening was it surpassed all of my expectations that I had for the movie. And I will admit there is that bit in the middle with like the wedding and like the human subplot that I think does kind of slow it down. But I also think it's okay, so I put Sonic 1 and 2 in the same category as I put like Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, where the second one takes what the first one did and just expands upon it really well and builds the world and fleshes things out and adds new characters like Knuckles and Tails. And I think we do get more of that like true, genuine, iconic, like Jim Carrey, Dr. Eggman performance. And that makes it hard for me to want to go back to Sonic 1. In the same way it's hard for me to go back to Breath of the Wild. Because there's so much I like about the sequel, because the sequel is just everything from the first movie plus more. So why would I go back to the minus more version? And that's not to say Sonic is a bad movie, like I said,
right.
But I think Sonic 2 just does everything so much better, and it ends with that like supersonic fight with the Chaos Emeralds and like all that stuff.
Yeah.
And that to me solidifies it as, because it was also a super faithful adaptation of the Sonic franchise, and I think that should be rewarded. So I'm gonna say S tier, but not above Scott Pilgrim.
I will meet you there. I will say S tier below Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah,
because I do remember that theater experience of that final battle and just being like, why is this good? Like, why? Like, it's the Sonic movie. Like, why am I so invested? I just, like, that middle part is hard for me, but, like, I can get over that to appreciate what they did in Sonic 2. And I think that's a fair point of it's more, it's just the first one, but more. So,
exactly.
Tomb Raider, the Alicia Vikander Tomb Raider.
I've never seen this.
Not
so.
the other one. I specifically put this on here because here's the thing. Is it phenomenal? No, not at all. I think it's so underrated, though. It needs so much more love than it gets. It is one of those, like, there was this era in like the like late 2010s, like 2016 to like 2019. We were making like really awesome action movies that flew under the radar. So I think about like Tomb Raider, I think about Kong Skull Island, I think about Godzilla. Like those kind of movies are so underrated, and I think they have like this kind of like niche following. And Alicia Vikander is an amazing Tomb Raider, and this one is pretty faithful to the game. And I think she committed to Lara Croft as a role so much and didn't really get what she deserved for it. And I'll say, like, it's not the best movie on the planet, but I think if you just want like a popcorn action movie, it serves that purpose so incredibly well, and it's one that I can turn on pretty much any time, and I will enjoy it. That being said, I kind of wanted it on here just to be like, hey, please go watch Tomb Raider. It's really, really good. And I'm also going to put it in B tier because it's like, it's really great. You should go watch it. But I'm not putting it up there like with the Mario movie or Sonic or, you know, like it's great. I really want you to go watch it because it's super underrated. But it's not like up there, you know?
Right. That makes sense.
Anyway, I kind of just wanted it on there to be like, please go watch this. It's underrated.
That's fair. I'll just match wherever you put it because I've never seen it.
B.
All right. Free Guy?
Free Guy.
I'm thinking A tier.
Saw it in theaters. I really liked it. Saw it at home again. Kind of like, I don't know. It's kind of like it's kind of a different take on the video game movie.
Yeah.
Because it's like acknowledging that it's a video game, but it's not like the Jumanji classic, like we get sucked into the video game, you know?
Right. It
like keeps its two worlds separate.
Yeah, which I think it's an interesting take, like you said, and it's not like trying to adapt anything.
Mm-hmm.
It's an original like video game made up for the movie.
Right.
And the only reason it constitutes a video game movie is because it... Bro, somebody's car alarm was going off outside. Sorry. It wasn't mine. No, but Free Guy, the only reason it constitutes a video game movie is because it's set in a video game.
Right.
And that's it. So, I don't know. I'd give it
I'm
A.
going to say A.
I thought it was good.
A.
It was funny. I enjoyed it.
I like it.
Are we putting it above Jumanji or no? I would, but that's just me personally.
I would not.
I'm going to.
Oh, okay.
Audience, you're looking at my tier list.
No, please.
You get to see the one that I control.
Free Guy is very good.
All right.
Five Nights at Freddy's.
It was good.
We saw this in theaters together, and it
was good.
You literally came to my house to watch this movie in theaters, like as a bit.
Yeah. It was good.
It was good.
Notice I'm not saying it was great.
The experience of like watching middle schoolers cry in the movie theater at the most not scary movie I've ever seen was better than the movie itself.
Yeah.
Because they definitely were like, yeah, guys, let's go see the Five Nights at Freddy's movie. And it was a bunch of like middle school boys. And then one of them's like, I'm gonna go to the bathroom. And they're like terrified. And I was just like, guys, this movie is not funny. It's not scary at all.
That said,
did I say C?
I'm gonna put it in B for a couple reasons.
Okay.
One, the plot itself was okay, right?
Right.
But I do think they should get extra points for the production value of the movie. And the fact
I can
that
respect
they
that.
built all of these working animatronics and they like didn't try to CG that. They did a lot of stuff practically. They did it on a really low budget too. And honestly, I think the actors did a pretty good job. I think the issue was the script, but I think the actors all did a really good job.
I think that's fair.
So I think
it's
I could
hard
bump it up
because
to B because of that.
I'll put it in B. I've seen it twice now. Because my brother wanted to watch it. And I can agree. It's like the movie itself, like the production value, pretty high. I feel like the casting was great.
Yeah.
But the best part about FNAF is the lore and the story is so good, and they had so much to pull from, and then just kind of didn't. So what I will say is I think that the next one they're making is probably going to be great.
Yeah,
because they're taking all the feedback.
Yeah, they're trying to like course correct and take the constructive criticism and like make it better. So I'm like, you know what? Let's see how it goes.
You know what?
This might be like another Sonic situation where
we're like, oh,
we end up with a incredibly goated trilogy of movies because they actually listen to the people who give them money and watch the movies.
Right.
Novel concept, I know.
Oh, fascinating.
All right. So
right.
This is Sword Art Online, but not the anime. This is supposed to be the progressive movie because this is video game movies, not series. If we loop in series, then it's a whole different conversation. So I know you're going to want to say Shadow Realm.
I'm going to say Shadow Realm.
I'm going to say A tier. Well,
that is bull honky.
Well, okay,
I cannot.
Hold on. Because I have to like
disconnect from the show.
I have to pivot my thinking from because when I think about like, it's A tier, but I'm putting it against a bunch of video game movies, not a bunch of other anime movies. And Sword Art Online falls in the same category as Free Guy, where it's like the only reason it's here is because it's set in a video game world.
Right.
And the only reason I even included the movie was because it takes place in the video game pretty much the whole time. It's not like the anime where they get out at like episode 15. Right. So as a video game movie, I'm going to go low B.
That's too high.
No, because
I will meet you in the middle at C.
Fine.
Because it's not like unwatchable.
No.
But
I love it. I think it's incredible.
I died of cringe. I think it's so cringe.
Maybe you should have watched it in Japanese then.
What?
But you didn't want to read the subtitles.
What does that have to do with anything?
The dub is a little cringe.
The dub is not what made it cringe. It's the story that made it cringe. It's the whole like, oh, this gamer in this world and he loves the girl.
Yeah,
and then they like
said it was made in 2013.
No, it was made right. Now it has that 2013 like flair, but the pacing is just like atrocious. Like it's not.
How'd you
like,
feel about
so
the pacing in the show?
It was like also not great, but like as a show you're kind of like, okay, like we're jumping around, like it's fine. But in a movie you're like, okay, like why is this a 90-minute movie that you're jumping all around? Like you had more time.
I mean, yeah, but
anyway.
like the point of the pacing was to slow down and actually focus on the game. and not get out in an hour and a half.
No, I'm not. Nah. We will die on this hill. This is one of our like longest running feuds. Is Sword Art Online.
I'll make you watch the second one, and you'll change your mind. Trust me.
Okay, Tron Legacy.
Never seen.
Have you seen this movie? Okay,
I need to watch it before the new one comes out.
Yes.
I'm not gonna lie.
So,
I watched the trailer for the new one last night when we saw Revenge of the Sith, and the music kind of bumping. Like
really,
9 Inch
the
Nails
new music
sounded.
Well, what's
really
funny
good.
is it's not even the guy for. It's not even 9 Inch Nails. It's the guy from 9 Inch Nails.
Oh.
Like it's not even the band 9 Inch Nails.
See, that's funny because the trailer said featuring original music by 9 Inch Nails.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I may be wrong then. I don't know. So Tron Legacy, actually very recently rewatched this movie in the last like month. Very nostalgic for me. That being said, upon rewatch, it is the best soundtrack of all time. I will die on that hill.
You're so
Daft Punk,
biased.
iconic, best soundtrack of all time. That being said, I understand that it has its flaws and it kind of I think it's like 20 minutes too long. Like they could have cut out some of the middle stuff. De-aged, freaking what's his name? Josh Brolin, freaking de-aged Josh. Is that who it is? I'm gonna say that wrong.
I don't know.
Jeff Bridges, that's who it is. De-aged Jeff Bridges is just not the move. It's kind of gross. That being said, I'm gonna say B.
Okay, I'll just follow your
I will
lead.
put it.
I've watched like the first half hour.
I would put it in B next to like FNAF and Tomb Raider, where you're like, this is really good. Like I will watch this, and the soundtrack like elevates it, but it's not like, oh my gosh, you have to watch Tron Legacy. It's kind of like, yeah, this is fun, but also like I love it because like I become 11 years old again when that movie comes on, and I'm just like, like
That's
the
fair.
light cycles. Also, like the Disney ride is cool. Like I like Tron. It's like
could be
15
longer.
seconds long, but like you know.
It's a
All right,
200-minute long line for
15 second. Lord, have you seen Jumanji: The Next Level?
Isn't that the first one?
No, it's the second one. It's called The Next Level.
Oh no.
Okay. Not a lot of notes. Gets too much hate. Also B.
Also B. Okay.
I'm a B.
Detective Pikachu.
So,
hard C. Ryan Reynolds being Pikachu, I think, is one of the saving graces of that movie, and the only reason it works. Everything else was kind of like.
Movie, I watched that movie like New Year's Eve, like 2024. So like I watched the first half in 2023 and then the second half in 2024.
That's great. It can go on both of your ranking lists.
I'm gonna agree with C. It's just not. It's kind of not it.
They're supposed to be making a sequel, but they've said that the sequel's in development for like 6 years. So
yeah, no,
I don't really know.
Looks like it's in like production hell.
Yeah.
Now there's some funny moments, but like it's just not memorable. It's not fun. Like it's not a good story. Like yeah, right. It's just funny because it's Ryan Reynolds.
Wreck-It Ralph.
Wreck-It Ralph. Can I keep it 100? Just be real for a moment.
Yeah, go for it.
I want S tier for Wreck-It Ralph.
Okay, I'm not disagreeing with you, but I want to hear a case for it.
So I think this is one of Disney's, like, when you think of Disney movies, like Wreck-It Ralph is not one that immediately comes to mind. But if you think about Wreck-It Ralph and the story of Wreck-It Ralph and John C. Reilly and his amazing performance, like the casting was absolutely perfect for him and Vanellope. Their story of like, I don't want to be the bad guy, and kind of like we are more than where we come from, and we can be more than we think. And I just think about his triumphant, like he's holding the medal that she made for him, and he's like, this is the thing, he's using his power that was made for evil. Like he was like, I have to be the bad guy, I have to destroy, but then he uses it to save them. and it's kind of like he becomes more than he was supposed to.
Right.
And I think that is it's genuinely one of their better stories, and it's one of their better worlds. And they expand upon the video game theme by like it's their own original world. It's like the Wreck-It Ralph, the freaking like go-karts, and it's like Donkey Kong, but it's not. But then they still have like Eggman and Pac-Man and Sonic, and
right.
you know, like they pull those characters without being like, this is the Sonic movie or this is the Eggman movie or this is, you know, I think it's essentially they got to pull like Sega characters to immerse you there and be like, oh, this is a video game movie. But they also added to the originality of it with the Fix-It Felix and the what's the go-kart game called? I can't even remember. Sugar Rush, and then like
and then
the Hero's Duty. Like they expanded on the world. They like created their own world in a way that was almost like a spoof of video game movies that I thought was kind of brilliant. And I saw it in theaters and I love it. And I just think it's one of their more solid stories. Okay. And as a video game movie, like look at these other movies and how like this is one of the original ones that actually stands out and like does well.
Yeah, you know what? I'll go with you there.
Okay, sick.
I think S tier. I think everything you said is true. It's also just a fun movie. And I think it has a lot of heart to it, and the message is just so good. Of like,
there you go.
As long as you're yourself, that's okay.
Right. I'm bad, and that's good. I will never be good, and that's not bad. There's no one I'd rather be than me. Gas.
Line.
Gas.
Bars.
And then he comes back, and does his monologue again while he's like going towards the ground for the bugs. Oh my gosh. Fire. Absolute fire. All right.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
A Minecraft movie.
We've already. I don't even feel like we need to elaborate.
We don't need to elaborate.
Need to give placement and go from there. We just did like a whole 50-minute segment on the last episode. We did a whole
episode. A Minecraft movie. So I am so torn on if I want to say S or Shadow. Because I'm like, you know, I'm going to be, because part of me is like, it's so cursed. Like, do we just cast it in its own category at this point?
No, I think it can be the first one to go in D. Shadow Realm implies that it's unwatchable. It's not an unwatchable movie.
No, like, not at all.
Like if someone wanted to watch it, like if we wanted to turn it on in the background while doing something else, like I'd be like, okay, fine, whatever. Right. Shadow Realm implies that I never want to watch this movie ever again. And I'm actually like worse off for it.
Right.
So I say like, D. It's not that bad.
It's really not. Okay. I'll throw it in D. Like I was devil's advocate for it last episode. And I stand by my 5-star Letterboxd review. But I'm kind of like, no, at the end of the day, it's not like amazing. But it's so incredibly unhinged that I can't comprehend it. Like it's such a surreal experience.
Yeah.
Oh. Anyway,
Uncharted.
Moving on, 3 left.
What a movie.
Uncharted.
I can't.
Can I also say D?
Yeah, please. Please. I don't even want to talk about it.
I'm glad you agree. I watched that movie on vacation one time, and I remember being like, "Oh, this is why no one likes Mark Wahlberg." Like I was really like, because I've heard the Mark Wahlberg hate, and I was like, I don't know, I haven't really seen him in a lot. Like, it's whatever. And then I saw this, and I was like, oh my gosh, he is genuinely dog in this movie. Like, I cannot explain it.
Yeah. It was also like Tom Holland's last movie before he took like a hiatus.
Right. And, you know,
we haven't seen him since. So,
which he's been on that like Apple TV series where he was like really weird. But
yeah,
anyway,
I forgot about that.
That was weird. I don't know why he did that. All right.
2 more.
Sonic 3.
Sonic 3. You know,
I'm
going to say this might shock you. I'm going to say A, but under the Mario movie.
Oh. Is it under the first Sonic movie?
Yes. And there's just something about it for me that I don't know. I don't know if I went in with my expectations too high, if they got a little too deep in the Sonic lore and I got lost, or like, I don't know. Like, it's a really, really good movie. I love
really
the dynamic
funny.
between Sonic and Shadow. But at the same time, I'm kind of like, objectively speaking, though, I don't know. I don't want to say it's the weakest in the trilogy because it's like,
but I agree.
Still
I
really
think
good.
It is the weakest. Saying it's the weakest, I will say it is the weakest, but I don't think that means it's bad. It is just, I understand because Jim Carrey is great. He's phenomenal in it. He's both characters. Their dynamic's awesome. I feel like the final battle was a great payoff. But there's parts of the story structure, like as a movie, I'm kind of like, it's kind of like, we need the Chaos Emerald. Oh, now we have the Chaos Emerald.
Right.
Oh, we need this, so we have that. And it's like there's not a lot of struggle.
Yeah, whereas the second movie and the first one had a lot of that.
Right.
Where, like, we have to go on this quest to get the Chaos Emerald and or the Master Emerald. Like,
it felt less like a quest and more. I felt more like I was being shoved lore.
Right.
Which, that being said, the Jim Carrey performance is like out of this world. The lines are hilarious. His dance sequence is hilarious. Like, I thought the final battle, like on the moon, was phenomenal.
Oh, yeah.
Like, Shadow is great. So, like, all the cast did great. Like, loved it. But there is a point where I was like, we're getting a little too like bloated in the Sonic story, where like they feel like they have to keep adding, and I'm like, well, we're kind of losing the heart a little bit of what made them good. So I can agree. I could say B, but I can go low A.
Yeah, I'm thinking, I don't know. Do you think it's better than Free Guy and Jumanji? Because for me, it is better than those two, but it doesn't eclipse the Mario movie.
I don't think it is, but you can rank it how you'd like.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave it where it's at.
Okay, final one.
The Mario movie, the bad one.
The Super Mario Bros. Movie, the bad one.
Shadow Realm, not even a contest.
Shadow. Dude, Shadow.
You've never seen that movie, right?
No.
I need to watch it with you so you can just understand how terrible that movie is.
Yeah.
Like, it falls into that category of I never want to watch this again. I'm actually worse off for having seen it. And I own 2 copies of it on DVD.
Oh, I should take one.
No, because one of them's sealed. I need to save it and sell it so my kids can go to college in 10 years or
that's
30
based.
years. I don't know.
10, I was like 10 years.
10 that's a little quick. That would imply that they're already here. More like 30 years.
I added that movie so that we had something for the Shadow Realm.
Yeah. No, that's like actually a terrible movie. But here's the crazy part. It's actually kind of similar to the animated one. Which means that it wasn't entirely a script issue. It was just like a medium issue.
Was it?
Because it's still like it still starts in Brooklyn with Mario and Luigi as these down on their luck plumbers who get a job, who get sucked into this pipe, who get taken to the Mushroom Kingdom. And that part stayed almost beat for beat with the animated movie. So clearly someone at Nintendo was like, no, that was good. Like, that part was fine. It was everything after that needed to change. Even the part at the end of the movie where Mario specifically gets sent back and then Bowser's stuff just like pops through the pipe or the portal or whatever, and then they have their showdown and then they get sent back, and it like, dude, almost bar for bar, and it's so crazy.
That's wild. See, that's the one, I don't remember who the actors are, but like Mario, like there's all these interviews about how like he almost like got hurt so many times on that movie.
I believe it. That's and he's like crazy.
he's like, yeah, on this scene, I got electrocuted here. He was like, I broke my leg on this scene where we fell off and everyone's like, whoa, like, what was going on here? So, yeah. Would you like to review our tier list from bottom to top?
From bottom to top. Shadow Realm, we have the Super Mario Brothers movie from 1993.
Yikes.
In D tier, we have Uncharted and a Minecraft movie. In C tier, Detective Pikachu, Sword Art Online Progressive, the movie, Aria of a Starless Night, and the Angry Birds movie. In B tier, we have Jumanji, The Next Level, Tron Legacy, Five Nights at Freddy's, and Tomb Raider. In A tier, we have Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle, Free Guy, Sonic the Hedgehog 3, The Super Mario Brothers movie 2023, and Sonic the Hedgehog. And in the all ever so coveted S tier, Wreck-It Ralph, Sonic the Hedgehog 2, and Scott Pilgrim versus the World, meaning we have crowned Scott Pilgrim versus the World as the best video game movie of all time.
And I stand by that. Especially because Sonic 2 gets to sit next to it as like, well, this is a game adaptation movie. Like, they get to sit together there. You know, where Scott Pilgrim is an original story, where Sonic 2 can be an adaptation story.
Yeah.
You know, I'm very happy with our ranking. Well, unless you have anything else to add, I think it's time to wrap up this episode.
No, I think we're out of here.
The Nerdiest Podcast. Guys, thank you so much for listening to this episode. We hope you enjoyed. If you liked our ranking or didn't like it or think we missed a movie and want to tell us about it, please drop a comment down below. Whether you're on Spotify or on YouTube. If you're on Apple Podcasts, make sure you give 5 stars, Spotify 5 stars, subscribe on YouTube. All the links are in the description to follow the podcast and us personally where we're doing good stuff. I won't see you for a little bit, but I'll come back and you get to hear all about my wedding in just about a month. So, Nick will see you in a few weeks for some special stuff that he has planned. But until then, thank you so much for listening. We really appreciate it. And we will see you in the next episode. Until then, bye.